my God. I just jumped off a cliff. Today I'm coming to you from a suburb of Lima, Peru. It's called Miraflores. And the view from this parachute is incredible. This is part 5 of our video series on iPhone safety. And what we're going to cover is how to lock down your Apple account, which would include your Apple password and your Face ID, so a thief cannot change those things. I'm going to show you how you can add a password onto that. And without that password, the thief is not going to be able to get into your Apple account. So, it's going to be a great video. Roll the intro. iPhone safety. Now, when you get your phone stolen because you're out in a foreign city taking a selfie, or maybe you're in the Uber app waiting on the curb for the car to arrive and somebody steals your phone right out from you. Now, you might think it's going to be a hassle having to get a new phone. That's the least of your worries. He's going to try and get into your banking apps, and he's going to transfer money to himself. He is going to purchase things with your phone. And it's very important to lock this down so that a thief cannot do anything on your phone. Welcome to part 5 of securing your iPhone. Today is optional, but it does add a layer of security that is worthy to educate everyone about. We've already shown you how you can secure all your banking apps by requiring your Face ID and hiding them in a secret folder. We've talked about different settings in the Settings app that are important. I've shown you how you configure your phone to automatically lock itself as soon as this Settings app is opened when you're not connected to your normal Wi-Fi. And I've shown you how that if you're out and about in a foreign city, not connected to your normal Wi-Fi, like a cruise ship or your home or work, and a thief grabs your phone and tries to swipe away from whatever was open, whether it was making a phone call, taking a photo, Uber, whatever it was, I've shown you how you can close those down. Your phone will automatically lock when he swipes away. And I showed you how you can set up limitations in your Settings app so that your Apple account is secure and cannot be changed. The one thing I didn't show you yet is how you can set a password, a passcode on that fully locks it down. Because if a thief is super smart, and you know some are just stealing phones, following directions, others know everything that I've taught you. So we want to make it so impossible for a thief that he can't go into shortcuts and delete what you've created. He cannot go in and change the settings in the Settings app. So this video is very important. It's a step that will really lock it down. But as I show you this, it's going to create another problem, and this is why it's an option for you. I'll explain what I mean. So if you open up your Settings app and scroll down to screen time. Now, we went into here several videos ago, and when we went in here, what I did is I showed you as you scrolled down this content and privacy restrictions, and I had you turn that on. And this is very important because it limits what can be done, especially on your Apple account. Remember, we set that so that you couldn't change your Face ID or your Apple account password. The thing I'm going to show you now is right underneath of that, where it says lock screen time settings. Again, if a thief grabs your phone and somehow manages to get into the Settings app, and if he's super smart, he would come into this content and privacy restrictions, and he would change those settings and turn that off so he can get into your Apple account. This will prevent him from making any of those changes unless he knows your code. So if you click here on lock screen time settings, it will ask you to set a code. Now, if you're like me, I don't need another password to remember. I've got thousands of passwords circling around in my head, and I'm afraid I'm going to forget this one. So I have an idea. It doesn't have to be a super private password. All you're really trying to do is prevent a random thief on the screen from knowing what to put in here. So it could be really common to you and to all of your friends. Here's my idea. You literally could set it to be maybe the first 4 numbers of your telephone. Maybe even better is your address. Set it to your zip code. And maybe even set it to the last 4 of your social security number. And tell all your friends, hey, I'm setting my passcode to the last 4 of my social security, or I'm setting it to my address. And if everybody does that, and if you forget, all you have to do is call your friends and say, hey, I can't remember this passcode to my iPhone. And everybody will say, you set it to the address, the same as me. I set it to my address, or I set it to my last 4 of Social Security, just like you did. And by doing it as a group, you'll all remember how to get into this. Another thing is in this next part, the next video, I'm going to talk about what are some of the things you should write down and keep safe so that if you need it, it's there. And whatever code you enter in here, think of a hint, whatever that hint is. It's the last 4 of my social, it is the last 4 of my phone number, it is my zip code. Whatever it is, you can write that little hint down and keep that safe for you for when you need it. Okay, so now that you have that in mind, type in what your passcode will be. It wants you to verify that again, so type it a second time. Now it gives you this option for a passcode recovery that would require your Apple account in order to reset it. Me personally, I don't really need to do this, and so I'm going to click here on cancel. It gives me an option. Are you sure you don't want to use your Apple account to change that passcode? And so I'm just going to select skip. And now this is locked down. And anytime that I try and go in and change something, it's going to require my passcode. And if I don't know what that passcode is, I cannot change these settings. And that's going to be very, very important. A thief is completely locked out of your phone now. This is great. It's fantastic. Your phone is secure. You can walk around, travel the world in peace. However, there's one thing I've noticed, that once I put this passcode in here, it does lock something down that I need to do frequently. Now remember, I'm living on a cruise ship. And so if I go back into settings and scroll up to general, there's a setting in general that I have to go into all the time. Traveling around on a cruise ship, it's very frequently that we change time zones. And as you travel the world, you're probably changing time zones as well. There is an option under date and time that you can say, change this automatically, and your phone does. But for me, traveling in a cruise ship, ship time is not always exactly the same as what my iPhone thinks that it is. And most of the time, when they announce that they're changing ship time tomorrow morning, I do have to come in here and manually change it to the new time. And what you'll notice is that it's grayed out. I'm tapping there, nothing's happening. And the reason that this is grayed out is because of that passcode that we entered in. It locked down many things on your phone, including being able to manually change your time. So in order to do this, what you have to do is go back and go back out of General and scroll down to Screen Time and scroll down to where it has Change Screen Time Passcode. And what you literally have to do in order to change the time zone, you'll have to remove that passcode, change the time zone, and then come back in and put the passcode back in. I know it sounds a little bit of a hassle, and this is why this particular video is optional. Like I said, it adds a really good layer to really protect your phone, but it does create this little bit of a hassle. Let's walk you through these steps again. So you tap here on Change Screen Time Passcode, and there's an option to turn it off. So when you select Turn It Off, it will make you put in what that passcode was. Now that it's turned off, you can click on the back button and scroll back up to General. Scroll down to Date and Time, and you can turn this to not set it automatically, and maybe you're now in Chicago. So you can type in the new time zone and then click on the back button up at the top again and click back one more time out of the General, scroll down to Screen Time, and then tap here where it says Lock Screen Time Settings. And once again, you'll have to set your passcode again. So using the same passcode that you've always been using, that you and all of your friends use, you'll put that in. Here where it gives you this option for passcode recovery, I choose not to use this. You can if you'd like, but I'm just going to click Cancel and then Skip. And now my phone is locked again. A thief cannot go in here and make these changes without knowing that code. And that is super, super well protected. It just creates a little hassle anytime that I need to change the time zone I'm in manually as I'm traveling around the world. I hope this video helped you. Again, it is optional. I think all the other videos really secured your phone. But if you want to be 100%, now it's done. In the next videos, we're going to talk about some behavioral things. Up to this point, we've talked about how to change settings and configure your phone. Next up, in our following video, I'm going to talk about how to retrain yourself, especially utilizing the camera app. There's more than one ways to open up your camera app to take pictures. One leaves your phone wide open, the other one automatically locks it down. We'll go through that. I'm also going to talk about just some basic behavioral changes that you can make as you're traveling the world that just protects your phone. All right, have a great day. Please remember to like this video. It really helps us out, and subscribe to our channel. And if you really think this benefited you, please share it with your friends on your social media. Click here on the link provided for the next part.